This is the Kildare team that will start. Interesting to note the Kildare manager Kieran McGeaney brings his captain Eamon Callaghan, who was a late withdrawal against Louth, back into the half-back line. And Tomas O'Connor, who scored the only goal against the wee county, is rewarded with the full-forward jersey. The big news this week from Tyrone is the return from injury of team captain and full-forward Stephen O'Neill. Joe McMahon switches again from defence to attack, with Peter Hart going in the opposite direction. He's now the key man at centre-back. It's do or die. It's the survival of the fittest. Can Kildare continue on their way in this championship? Johnny Doyle. Interesting that Aidan McCrory is on him. Lovely skill by Johnny Doyle. And Johnny Doyle has started Kildare on their voyage. What a wonderful start for Kildare, led by the veteran 35-year-old Johnny Doyle from Allenwood.
Well, it's the old solo dummy again. He pulled it off in the last round, and they bought it again, and lovely accuracy. Now that's a terrific start for Doyle, for his confidence and his team, and the home crowd, of course, will be lapping it up.
Sean Kavanagh. Peter Kelly was clearly holding on to Stephen O'Neill. They just don't seem to be capable of marking him. Sean Kavanagh scores his second point of the match. 3 points to 1. And a lot of it is self-inflicted by Kildare with some of this short passing. Tomas O'Connor comes way out around the 40. Plenty of Tyrone defenders, but Niall Kelly did really well! And he blazes it over the crossbar. Niall Kelly, he's only 19 years of age from Athy, but this was just a little piece of magic from him.
Just over, isn't it? And he's started really well. He's their most prominent attacker so far. A lot of dash in him. Had a great effort there.
Wasn't far away when you look at the replay from being under the crossbar. Mark Donnelly. Again, every time Tyrone get the ball around the middle of the field, it's a long ball to O'Neill. That's the reason why. In fires Ryan McKenna, there's a chance of a goal! Beautiful play by Tyrone. Matthew Donnelly, the scorer. And you feel that the Ulster boys are playing with confidence. And O'Neill did all the hard work here. The ball came in for Matthew Donnelly, and he cracked it home.
Well, watch this. It's O'Neill again. Makes the break. Lovely ball across from Ryan McKenna. Look at the way he places this one, Marty. Right into the top corner.
Down first, Conor Gormley. Looking it forward for Matthew Donnelly. Backtracking is Ono Flaherty. Darren McCurry laying it back. This is dropping in, and that is over the crossbar. Now that's impressive. Matthew Donnelly scores a goal and a point in St. Conleth's Park in Newbridge. What about this for a point? Against the blinding sun. Ryan McKenna. Aidan McCrory. Mark Donnelly. Down towards Darren McCurry. Centre back Peter Hart. 3 Tyrone footballers waiting here. Cathal McCarran. Sean Kavanagh. And that is going over the crossbar. Awesome football by Tyrone when they get moving, when they go forward. Lovely little jink here by Sean Kavanagh. It's his 3rd point of the game. Hugh McGrillen. Out far is Morgan O'Flaherty. Owen O'Flaherty. Johnny Doyle. Goes for the score and gets it. Johnny Doyle is still producing it for his county. It's his 3rd point and the first score for the Lily Whites since the 17th minute. That's 20 minutes ago. Hugh McGrillen fires Emmett Bolton. McGrillen is available again. Paddy Brophy is gone inside. McGrillen floating one in first to Tomas O'Connor. One clean, lays it off, fires Padraig O'Neill. Kildare need this to go over the bar, and it has. Much better football by the Lily Whites. And a really good combination team effort here.
Yeah, well, it's McGrillen's ball inside, isn't it? Tomas O'Connor that opens it up. He lays it off, and it is an excellent finish.
Over first, Paul Cribbin. Has to go back for his own O'Flaherty. Backtracking is Darren McCurry. Niall Kelly. This is much better, Kildare. Now comes the shot. Here comes the score. We have seen better football out of Kildare in the last 3 minutes than we saw over the first 35 minutes. Better play by Kildare. It's been a while, as I mentioned, for Tyrone to raise a flag. Darrell Flynn to Emmett Bolton. Being pursued by Ryan McKenna. Nice little jink by Niall Kelly. Long ball inside. Comes for his Paul Cribbin. And that is brilliant football by Kildare. The challenge was laid down by Tyrone. But Kildare have responded, and this is a much better second half performance. It looks like a different team. Mark Donnelly trying to cut onto his right boot. Still Donnelly going through, and the referee for a foot block has indicated a penalty, and Joe McQuillan had no doubt whatsoever. That's the match official. Let's look at it again.
Well, it's a foot block for sure, and it is a penalty. I agree with that. But again, what was taking my attention, Marty, was the build-up. I thought he took an awful lot of steps on 2 occasions. Bolton gets the yellow for that foot block.
Referee blows the whistle. Here comes O'Neill. And a brilliant save by Shane Connery. Is that the turning point in this round 3 qualifier? And Kildare counter-attack swiftly and efficiently. Owen O'Flaherty laying it back for his full-back Peter Kelly. Going forward is Pádraig O'Neill. Can O'Neill finish this with a score? Turning the game around on its head. It was just a little bit short. Bursting forward is Sean Kavanagh. Over this side is Joe McMahon. Great ball. There's a chance here for Mark Donnelly, and Donnelly takes his point. Really good score by Tyrone. That potential to break down the Kildare defence is always there. Paddy Brophy losing possession on arrival on the ground. Peter Hart laying it off for his Matthew Donnelly. And it's another free for Tyrone.
That's him again, isn't it?
Second yellow for Peter Kelly. And this is going to be a red card. Kildare are down to 14 players. A wonderful comeback by Kildare. Tyrone have reorganised themselves and now find themselves back in front by 3 points. And they have numerical advantage on the field as well. Mickey Hart rejoices, acknowledges a very good team performance. But at the end of the evening, Matthew Donnelly's goal after 9 minutes, the difference between the teams as Tyrone march on in the championship. Full-time score here in Newbridge. Tyrone 111, Kildare 12 points.
Yeah, we just got very sloppy in the first half. Give the ball away, 11 wides I think it was too, and left ourselves a wee bit too much to do in the second half, and we just couldn't get it done. We had to pull it back a bit, and then they got a few decisions in front of the goals, and that's what happens.
Shane Conley made a great save in the goals for the penalty, and I felt if he could have kicked on there with a score, maybe that would have put them on the back foot. But look, Tyrone are very experienced. They've won a lot at 3 All-Irelands and a lot underage, and the experience probably told a little bit in the end. And you have to give them credit for that. And we'll have to just restock and get ready for next year.
Well, Kieran, you were there. What was the biggest difference between the sides?
I think Des was the use of possession, and in that first half certainly killed Kildare, there was no doubt about it. Tomas O'Connor had done very well the previous week, but like, what were Tyrone going to do? Mickey Hart was in the front row, John McMahon dropped back as a sweeper, and they just kicked in aimless ball in the first half. They, I counted they kicked 12, 13 balls away in that half, and each time the ball goes in, there's just plenty of, as Tyrone do. Now, Tyrone are doing that for years, that's the way they're going to play the game, and working hard to gain that possession, and then you go kick it away. There was no quality ball going in there, and Kildare actually had enough possession to actually win the game. Let's be frank about it, but they just didn't use it. And there was Tyrone where there was a totally different contrast in the way Tyrone. They were just a smarter team with a better structure, better set up, with a better know-how, and they took advantage of that.
All right, let's have a look at Tyrone.
Yeah, just looking at the way Tyrone played, they retained possession. They were smart. When it was on, here we see 2-on-2, the space in there. Let's get the ball in. Stephen O'Neill was the key danger man in there. Okay, and here we go again. 2-on-2, space, time, right ball to go in, and this one that resulted in the goal. But the other aspect in terms of Tyrone is when it wasn't on. Here we go. Here's McCarron, looks up, it's not on, lays it back. Matthew Donnelly looks up, still not on. So recycles possession. And when you move this on, you can see the Kildare. There's the Kildare extra man back. He's going to cut that ball out if it goes in. So they were just being smarter. They were retaining possession, and there was a great example here. The point. Here again is Matthew Donnelly. Now the ball's not on. Hugh McGrillen is going to come across into that space. He has a look. He says, right, I'll hold on to this ball, and it results in a very, very good score off his left foot. And to me, that was just the key difference between both teams. Tyrone with a bit of know-how. Kildare just very naive in their approach to the game, and that's a fantastic. You're not going to see a better score than that off the left foot.
All right, well, we'll chat about young Donnelly in a moment, because I know Joe is a big fan of his as well. But just before we do, the goal obviously was the ultimate difference on the scoreboard, and you thought that might have illustrated some of the naivety as well, maybe.
Yeah, what surprised me at the start was that Daniel Flynn